Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Danny J. Quick, and this is the first episode of our podcast. It doesn't have a name yet, but I'm sure it will eventually. We just wanted to go ahead and get it done before we talk ourselves out of it. So, welcome. I appreciate you checking us out. What we want to do here is we want to kind of read some of our short stories to you. We've been writing what we called an extremely short story series for a while now. Me, my wife, Tiana Quick, and Morgan Iverson, and a few other people. And we thought, why not share some of these stories and, put them out on a podcast. So what we're going to start doing is every couple of weeks, we'll read one of these for the podcast, and we hope you enjoy them. Okay. So the first story is called The Fighter. It was probably one of the first ones that I wrote for the extremely short story series. And I really enjoyed it. We were doing this as kind of a practice to make sure that we kept writing, and just trying to keep stories as short as possible, but actually giving a full story. So I think the first rule was under 1,000 words or something like that. And here we go. So I hope you enjoy it. The Fighter, an extremely short story by Danny J. Quick for the Fourth Wall Universe. Romo, get the camera ready. He's here. Karen Brinkley commands from the front seat of the news van as a dark blue Lexus pulls up to the side of the gym where they've been staking out for about 3 hours. You really think it's him? Romo asks as he lifts his mid-sized camera up on his shoulder and reaches for the door to yank it open. We're about to find out, Karen responds as she hops down out of the van. The wind blows her long brown hair and fills her nostrils with a stench of aerobics. Jeez, I can smell the locker room from outside. Karen scrunches up her nose, but speeds up her gait and never takes her eyes off the car. Keep it in tight on his face, Romo. I want to catch his reaction to my questions. Yes, ma'am, Romo exclaims as he tries to keep up with Karen's pace. She finally breaks her gaze away from the vehicle as 2 men get out of the car. She looks back over her shoulder at Romo, more serious than he's ever seen her before, and grumbles, and make sure the darn lens cap is off this time. She turns back to the car and approaches from the passenger side, where a lean young man exits the car and stares directly at her. Uh-oh, the young man says as he stands and shuts the door to the car, watching the reporter breeze past him, raising her hand to wave at the driver of the car. Mr. Durham, she exclaims, instantly getting his attention. The tall and muscular Terrell Durham seems shocked to see the reporter charging towards him at his place of business and turn his body in a defensive posture. Yes, Terrell says, wide-eyed and hesitant, like a deer caught in headlights. I'm Karen Brinkley with Karen Brinkley, the young man behind her belts out, and he circles around the cameraman to try to get the reporter's attention and steps in between her and Terrell. You're the investigative reporter who did the piece about King Supreme once living in Vegas City. You really think both Aceblade and King Supreme live in Vegas City? What are the odds of that? I got it, DJ. I'll meet you at the speed bag. Terrell interrupts and puts his hands on DJ's shoulder, hinting at him to move on. No problem, champ, but be careful with this one. She's a fighter too. DJ backs away, allowing Karen and her cameraman access to the former heavyweight champion of the world. How can I help you? Terrell holds the black and red gym bag firmly in his right hand and lifts the strap over his head to rest the strap on his left shoulder. He grimaces and barely moves his left arm. I just have a few questions for you. Karen responds and then begins her assault. The first of which is why you never came back to defend your title. Well, Miss Brinkley, I accomplished all I wanted to as a fighter and the business part didn't interest me, so I chose to go out on top. Terrell answers matter-of-factly, hoping that Karen won't dig much deeper, but he knows she will. So it had nothing to do with Gutshot trying to have you killed after the fight? She asks and stretches the microphone back towards his face for a response. Terrell giggles but answers. That's part of the business I was talking about. he says, then pauses to look back over his shoulder as a few passersby yell out in adoration of him. There's no reason to get killed when I can still do what I love and help people here at the same time, Miss Brinkley. So do you think it's a coincidence that Aceblade was first sighted a mere 3 days after Gutshot ordered the hit on you, and that Gutshot was his first target? Karen again stretches out the microphone as Terrell begins to become more amused by her line of questioning. He chuckles and continues. Yeah, I saw that on the news, but I'd call that karma. Maybe, Mr. Durham, but let me ask you this. Karen takes a small notepad out of her waistband and begins again. Last year, at the grand opening of your gym here, you did a demonstration where you used a set of keys to disarm several experienced fighters with ease. Terrell nods his head in acknowledgement. I once saw a tweet claiming that you once saved a boy from an alligator attack with only a box cutter, and I heard that you once disarmed a bank robber by slicing through his Achilles tendon by throwing a credit card at him. Terrell burst into laughter at the reporter's statement. Don't believe everything you hear, ma'am. Terrell responds and tries to walk towards the gym entrance, but the emphatic reporter steps into his path, cutting him off and forcing him to stop in his tracks. I don't, Mr. Durham, but I did see a video of a young black kid training in Eastern Africa fighting a pack of hyenas and speaking Chinese. The popular consensus is that young man was you. Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't confirm or deny that it's... Do you speak Chinese? I speak Mandarin, yes, but there are plenty of black people who speak Asian languages. Sure. Karen responds with a simultaneous blink and nod, then continues. But the strategy that the kid used to beat the hyenas was eerily similar to how Aceblade subdued a pack of wild dogs the Jack of Clubs was parading around last week. I don't know about all that. Hyenas are more closely related to the cat family than dogs, Miss Brinkley. Terrell pauses as if he has an idea all of a sudden and then continues. Wait, what exactly are you trying to say? You've mastered almost every style of combat known to man, including martial arts with origins in every region of the planet. You were once considered the most dangerous fighter in the world. Aceblade appeared in this city 3 days after your final fight, and you even wore purple trunks in that fight. She pauses. Admit it, Mr. Durham, you are Aceblade, the Vegas vigilante. Aceblade is a sloppy fighter and nowhere near the skill level of fighters who have been fighting all their lives like me. I could easily take down these comic crooks, I could beat Batman in a hand-to-hand match, and I'd even give Captain America trouble. Terrell scoffs as his bravado leaks out for a moment, then continues. While I do respect what he's doing here, I believe he's going to get himself killed one day. So if you ever do figure out who he is, send him through the gym and I'll give him some pointers. Other than that, I can't help you. Terrell continues towards the door as the cameraman lowers his equipment to look at the former champ. I thought that was you, Ramon. You used to drop Stephanie off here every day. How's she doing? She's on her way to her Olympics thanks to your gym. Wow, that's good to hear. And how's your grandmother? She's as healthy as ever. Someone keeps dropping off meds for her just as she's about to run out. Ramos smiles and says as he looks at the chocolate warrior proudly as if he knows his secret. We're pretty sure it's Aceblade, but he always drops the meds off when no one is around. Well, he seems like a good guy. I wouldn't be surprised. Terrell responds and puts his hand on Ramos' shoulder as he passes by, headed into the gym. Well, if you do see him, tell him we said thanks. Ramo exclaims as Terrell escapes into a puff of cool air inside the gym. Did you see that? Karen says excitedly and slaps Ramo on his arm. Ouch! See what? Ramo's countenance of admiration immediately changes into fear at the sight of Karen's lust for the story. He was favoring his left side. Karen says, see this? Karen shows an image of Aceblade battling the notorious Vegas City vault burglar Hammerhands. Hammerhands landed a clean blow on Aceblade's left side 2 nights ago. He may have deflected most of the force away, but there's no way he doesn't have at least a fractured rib or two. Karen smiles like a jackal drooling over fresh meat and heads back into the van with a spring in her step. The scent is fresh as Miss Brinkley starts what may be her greatest investigation to date, the true identity of the Aceblade. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed that. It's something that we want to do a little more often. So look for us on social media. You can find me at the Aceblade on Instagram and Twitter. I'll be posting this up on our website, fourthwallpros.com. And, you know, if you got any ideas for stories for Aceblade or King Supreme, LumberJax, any other Fourth Wall Universe characters, you know, let me know. We're always looking for guest writers for stuff like this. And I think it's going to be something that we have fun with. So, I appreciate you listening. And, until next time, stay vigilant, my friends. I'm out.